Hello, good afternoon. Today I will be going over week zero's assignment for advanced financial modeling. So the first part of the assignment was to create a GitHub and a ChatGPT. Um, create a ChatGPT account. So I did both. So if you can see from the screen that I am about to drag onto the main screen, you can see that I created a GitHub repository, which I already had, and I created a repository for this class specifically for advanced financial modeling that I will be putting all of my assignments and notes and such. And then I also already had a ChatGPT account, but I bought the plus version, ChatGPT Plus, with the new 4.0 model that I will be using. And then for the second part of the assignment, was to try at least 5 different ChatGPT prompts about financial data analytics. And I did 5 prompts about financial data analytics to learn. And then I also did 5 other prompts to test myself over financial data analytics concepts. So now I will demonstrate and show you which ones I did and how I did it and how I structured my questions. So first we will go over to the learning chat. So I made 2 separate ones, one for learning and one for testing. So first we're going to go over the learning. So I structured my questions in a very deliberate way. So each of my questions is multifaceted. So it's not just a yes or no question. It's an open-ended question that could be answered in many different ways because I was interested in how Chat GPT would answer it. So the first part of all my questions are structured the same way. So the first part is just getting a very broad question. So in this case, I asked a question about private equity. So how is the performance of a private equity investment typically executed? It's a very open-ended question. There's a lot of ways of assessing an investment, and seeing how it performs and seeing if we should take it or not as a firm. Then the second part, so it's a very business, very high-level question. But the second part of my questions are, a little more specific. So here I'm asking about the factors that contribute to the success or failure of a private equity fund, such as market conditions, company performance, or exit strategy. So I'm asking about 3 separate things. And then the last part of all my questions have something to do with, something technical. So in this case, I asked, can machine learning be used to predict future performance and identify the main factors driving a fund's return? So it's 3 different questions. So the way ChatGPT answered it was answering my question in 3 different sections, 1, 2, and 3, that each answers. Uh, the first part of my question is a very high level business question, finance question. The second one is a more, you know, subject specific. And then the third part is a very uh, technical answers, telling me about factor analysis, in this case, sentiment analysis, automated due diligence, and, risk management, how machine learning contributes in that way. So I'll go over this question and the answers just so we can see how it answers. But for the rest of the other 4, I'll just skim over it, just the subject of what I talked about, just so we won't spend too much time here. So yeah, first of all, it's talking about the key performance metrics, which answers the first question, is how is performance of a private equity investment typically evaluated. It tells me, it divided it into bullet points, and it gives me at least 5, usually 5, 6 for every question. Here it gives me 5, and it tells me about things like internal rate of return, multiple on invested capital, total value to pay in, things like that. And it gives me a short description. Then as we scroll down, does the same thing for all these 2 other sections of the answer. And then we go to the next question. I asked it about investment banking and how something that's very prominent in that field is mergers and acquisitions. And then I asked it a more specific question, and then I went into asking how can technology or data analysis predict trends or outcomes in a future merger and acquisition activity. So I did that same way to answer it in 3 different sections because the question is divided in 3 different ways. So the model is learning proactively how to answer the questions I ask it, especially if I ask it in the same way in 3 parts. The next question, the subject I hit on was algorithmic trading. So how to, risk and ensure that their strategies are profitable. and then going into more of like specific question about a specific subject. Like here, I talked about financial factors when in deciding a trading algorithm. And then I talked about, then I asked how can data analysis or AI help improve trading strategies. Uh, so then it gave me the same answer. It gave me an answer with, a subset. Here, actually, it gave me a subset of bullet points on top of one, which gave me specific subjects like stop loss orders, risk and reward ratio, things that should be considered when managing risk. And then again, it answers the third part of the question. And then, this one I asked about credit worthiness of clients, and I went into more detail about that. And then as we scroll down, it answers my question again. And then I asked about how do trading algorithms help improve the efficiency of buying and selling assets, and then I went into more of like asking about price trends, trading volume, and then I went into more of like the technology side, financial data analytics, how it can be implemented into what I'm asking. And that concludes the first part, and then we can move on to the test chat. Where here I'm just trying to make questions that I can brush up my knowledge of what I just learned or maybe something new. So here I told ChatGPT to give me 3 multiple choice questions about financial measures like revenue growth, profit margins are used in data analytics to assess the value of investment. And then I told me to give me 4 options for each question and then only having one correct answer. I was very, very specific for what I wanted and very specific of what I wanted to be tested over. And then we see here it gives me a question and then gives me four available options and then the right answer, which I didn't like how it gave me the option right there because it doesn't give a point because I can see the right answer right away. So what I did, I made sure in this part, I told it to give me the correct answer at the end of the prompt. So this one I'm asking about interest rate, inflation, more about GDP, more technical economic stuff. And then as it gives me the questions and the options, but this time it gave me the answer then, which I appreciated. And I just did the same thing, this one I'd asked for more technical questions about machine learning, predictive analytics. So it was asking me sometimes to choose the right model or maybe in this scenario, what model would I pick or yeah, things like that. Looking at maybe what the right option was. Maybe they're all right, but which one's the best one? And then here I'm asking about time series analysis, giving me some scenarios. Very good questions, by the way. Again, it makes me think about it. It makes me evaluate all the options. And then we scroll down. I did it again. And then that concludes, this part of the assignment, which is, doing ChatGPT prompts about financial data analytics. And I did at least 10 like it was outlined in the assignment instructions. And then the second part was to read the roadmap and set personal learning goals. So what I set myself are 3 major goals. Some are very specific. One is very broad. So first is master financial data manipulation. So I had a internship at Bank of America this past summer, and I was a data management analyst. And I got exposed to a lot of different data, specifically trade data that because I was in the trade surveillance technology team, we would, identify wash trades, spoofing, things like that. So I got to see a lot of data, thousands upon thousands of rows. So I just want to become familiar with how to use pandas and to manipulate that data and bring some insights to it and use it in models or in creating a new algorithm. And then my second goal is to become more familiar with Python libraries like QuantStats and PyAlgoTrade because I'm interested in algorithmic trading or anything quant related, and I feel like this would be the best way. Learning the libraries would be really beneficial for me. And then my third learning goal is to build a trading engine and maybe an automated backtester to expand my knowledge and create something that I can put in my portfolio or at least get some knowledge out of it. Uh, yeah, it's very beneficial. I learned the best way to learn is to do in my case. So those are the goals I set for myself. And this concludes my presentation and my week 0 assignment. Thank you for watching and have a great day.